Okay. Hello guys, welcome back to my stream. Today we're going to be working on ZoBee again, and today I'm going to try and get as much of her retopology completely finished, so that way we can start moving on to the UVs and then eventually start texturing. So let's go ahead and get started. So I already took the liberty of kind of finishing up her hair last night, just because I wanted to kind of speed this up during my streams and kind of get us to the next part of the 3D pipeline process as quickly as possible. So, kind of did her hair already, matching with the sculpt that we did, and this is her original hair right here that I'm turning on and off. So I kind of followed the amount of polygons and to kind of match that with the base hair, because we're going to be using the base rig. So wanted that to match up and give her as much, of a nice silhouette for what that material is going to be as possible. And so the only thing really left is the hair bangs. I need to create some topology for that, and then I can go back and kind of close up these holes that we did. So yeah, that's the plan for today. Let me turn on the music, and let's continue. So I kind of started a little bit on the banks of the hair as well. Mostly did that side. So I'm going to try and copy that topology on the other side as well. I can also switch to the front view. Might make things a bit easier. Just kind of trying to line up those edges. And of course, thinking about the silhouette as per usual. Bring this down. And the hair strand really curves at this part here. So I want to make sure I get that for the silhouette. Okay. I don't think the topology really matters for these bangs, because the whole thing is just going to be weighted to her head. So what that means, for anybody who doesn't know, is that whenever she moves her head, the bangs will also follow. So we're not going to be weighting part of it to her shoulders or whatever, because Zoe, she kind of moves her head. I think she moves her head a lot. I'm not really sure. But she does like jumping movements, like a lot of very exaggerated movements. So I want the bangs to also follow her head instead of getting dragged onto the shoulder. Like when she lifts her head, the hair kind of stays to the shoulder, and that's not really realistic. And we also don't really have any bones to work with to add some movement to these bangs. So they're going to be, unfortunately, they're going to be static. So I don't want to go out of my way to make new animations just for a little thing. She has a lot. I usually like to make a diamond at the end of the hair strand, like so. then I'm able to use those two edges to create something a bit more rounded. Because her hair is like really curly, I want to make sure that we are working with enough topology to get those smooth curves. Sorry, my eyes itchy. Okay. And then this is going to merge up into the hair, the main chunk. Come on, let me get that edge. There we go. Alright, I want to pull that vertex in just a bit. And then we'll kind of have it end there. Come on. There we go. Alright, and then I'm going to merge it with the hair, main chunk. Maybe I'll do like a bigger polygon. Come on. And come on, merge. Okay. Alright, so I'm just going to ignore that hair strand for now, and then worry about it later. I think I want an extra edge loop here to give some more round silhouette. Okay, and then we work our way up, making sure it's kind of somewhat mirrored to the other side. Cool. Cool. Alright. I kind of want a polygon that does this. That gives us that edge. I think I do want to add another edge loop. Just give us more shape. Maybe I can drag that over and just kind of open this up. Yeah, let's get rid of that. We don't need that. Cool. Top part of the bang. I also want to make sure this is very nice topology. Really want to make sure that silhouette is perfect. Polygon there. Okay, that does what I needed to do. Okay, good. Awesome. Why are there birds outside when it's like 26 degrees? I feel like they should all be migrating elsewhere. Very cold today. Okay. And then I'm gonna want this polygons to act like this, like a bridge. This kind of bridges everything together, but it also creates like an edge that seeps into the hat. So I'm kind of following the topology of the hat as well, the poly count. I'm really not too worried about the overall amount of polygons that we're using because, let me see, heads up display, poly count. She's at, let me see, is that the right? Select everything that we've created. Let me separate this piece here because that is my topology part. So right now she's at, is that true, 21,000? I guess she's at 21,000 polygons, which is not bad, I guess, even though the goal is to be like 15K, around 18K at max. So we may reduce the poly count in some areas, although I don't really think it matters too much, because we are kind of optimizing as much as possible already. And at the end of the day, like, I'm just trying to create a pretty model for my portfolio. Yes, it will be used as a custom skin for a little bit, I guess, before Vanguard comes in and ruins everything. But I'm just worried about getting a pretty model first and optimization later. Because I'm sure there's a lot of places we can optimize. We still have to do the actual necklace piece here. I think for Yordles and like smaller champions who have like smaller bodies compared to the average size, I think their silhouette matters a lot more, like the modeling, rather than just leaving it all up to texture. That's because like they're just a lot smaller in game from the regular view. So what's really going to stand out is like the silhouette of the character. You don't want to have to like zoom in and like, oh, okay, that's what that object is, or that's what that material is. for regular size champions, you can sometimes get away with not modeling stuff out and just kind of leaving it up to texture. I think I'll just close it here and just kind of smooth it out. All right, so let's isolate the view on this and just kind of see the silhouette is good. Okay. Silhouette is good, although this area is kind of rough, which I don't like. And we do see Zoe from the top-down view a lot, so we want to make sure that's good. It's nice and curvy. I think that's a bit better. Let's try adding vertex in the middle here. And maybe here. Guess I'll add one here as well. And just kind of move it. It's possible that I could have just done a better flow topology in this area. I think this solves what we're looking for. Add one here. Okay. Yep. That helped out. That's good enough. So let's drag this down just a bit. Cool. I think this underside doesn't really matter as much to have really nice silhouette because it's just gonna blend into the head. So I might do a few polygons there. Come on. Die. Come on. There we go. No, want the hair. Okay. Making sure that matches on the other side. So I can have an easy time just bridging that manually. Oops, don't want to drag that. Yeah, so I guess with these low polygons, it just kind of cuts off, and I don't really want that. So it's okay to just add another edge loop to kind of smooth things out. So I think I'll do that a bit. Maybe add another edge of loop of polygons and just bridge it there. Come on. Oh, Maya. Come on, man. Let me grab my vertices. I'll add a slight edge loop there. Come on. Alright, let's just bridge that manually. There you go. And down there, want this to merge with the strand that's going up. And then I want to add some more polygons here. Okay. That's not necessary. Alright, so I think it's time to close up this hole here. Okay. Cool. Alright, shape of the hair is coming together. On this other side I had a few polygons that just didn't want to listen to me, so let's kind of work that out here. Okay, I guess I just will bridge those. Alright, see what we're working with. 380. Alright, and then let's do this little hair strand here as well. Let's see. It's pretty thin. Right there. Let's do our little triangle, diamond shape. Looks like it was inverted for some reason. So reverse. Okay. And then I like to add the edge there. Okay. And then we start moving things. Making sure that my edges line up with the larger chunk of the hair. Although because this is a small strand, and it kind of, the purpose of it is to kind of break up the main hair shape. So it kind of is okay to kind of add a little bit of an edge loop to kind of smooth things out. The larger chunk of the hair doesn't really matter too much what the silhouette looks like, just as long as I have like the edges looking good. But most of it will look like hair once I start texturing it. So that's what I'm banking on. So I want to bridge this with the point there. Come on. No, it's not going to do it. Kind of tucking that in a bit. And I think it's fine to make this backside completely flat. So I want this to come to a point. So it's going to be to the right. Merge this vertice to the right. Yeah. And I want another polygon there, which merges up to that point. Cool. And then I can go in and just close up this hole with a flat edge. Actually, I may keep that open. Okay. And then you'll see, like, when she has her, her big hat and the petals, we're not really going to see that there's like a flat edge there. So that's fine. You don't have to waste more polygons to kind of create that silhouette, curvy silhouette, because we're not really going to see it. So let's just kind of work some magic to blend that in. I'm gonna get a sip of water here in a bit. Okay. So I'm not going to worry about figuring out how to merge that with the main hair chunk just yet. Trying to get this done as quickly as possible. Make sure I don't mess anything up either. I'll make her body disappear. Oops. Yeah. It's good. And this side here. Thinking about if I need to use more polygons. And I don't. Okay. And then this is the part that kind of gets hidden behind her head and everything, so. Hello, Martinez. Thank you for joining the stream. Or Martinez. I think it's Martinez. Yep, just trying to wrap up this whole chunk. Okay. I might add another edge loop for this area, because it is getting a bit too low poly. Yeah, for sure. So let's go ahead and add that here. Okay. Uh-oh. My Maya's not listening. I'm gonna have to save my Maya scene and also force quit it now. Just one of those quirks with the program. For whatever reason, it just stops listening. All right, back to live. And just adjust these polygons. Kind of create some space for this new edge loop. I'm sure there's a better way of doing this, but this is just the way that I'm doing it for now. I might just add like a little set of polygons here to kind of just randomly come out. And give us some shape that we want. And then we can go in here and close it as much as possible. I can already see like I want some shape here, so I might just do the same thing with adding more polygons on the other side. I want that to close there. Okay, and then we can just add some new polygons here. I like that. It is a bit rough. Okay. Come on. All right, cool. Okay, just gonna leave that there, and then I'm gonna figure out something here. We might not get to to UVs today. considering how long this is taking. ZoBee should be an official skin. Such a cool concept. Thank you. It's by, what's her name? Sia Shao, which I linked the original ArtStation concept to in the description of the live stream. If you would like to check out her work. She also did a Coven Gwen, which I think is like pretty nice, the way that she designed it. I know Coven Gwen is like a really popular idea, but I like her concept quite a bit. Okay, and then now we can finally move on to the other side, just for a little bit. Also, thank you for joining the stream, Hexen. Man, it gets really annoying when, and this is entirely because of the high poly sculpts, but it gets annoying when like you can't move this vertice for whatever reason. So you have to go into you have to actually grab the vertice with your move tool. So I want this edge loop to be perfect all the way around. Make sure that when I select this, it doesn't like select the whole hair. Okay, I'm gonna merge this part. Create a quad here. Making anything 3D sounds hard. Yeah, there is, I mean, it depends. I think when it comes to like low poly hand painted stuff, it's a little bit easier than like going for a realistic model. Because when you're doing low poly, like hand painted stuff, there's a lot you can get away with just hand painting. I think, yeah, you still have to have the skill set's kind of different. Like it's not 100% like a lot more easier, because you do have to have, I mean, at least for me it is, because I have a lot of experience with 2D illustration and working with Photoshop and all that. So I'm very comfortable with like texturing just by painting. But when it comes to doing something more realistic, like you have to kind of be a bit more technically minded and know more about like shaders and how to get stuff to look more realistic in a way. So you have to work with like normal maps and like metallic or like roughness and the albedo and other types of maps as well. Whereas when it's just like hand painting with low poly, you only have to worry about the diffuse map. So it's just about, okay, how can I paint a material to look exactly the way I want it to, instead of like, okay, how can I work with all these different maps to try and get the material to look somewhat what I want it to look like. And yeah, the realism is like a lot more technical knowledge that you need to know. Nice fancy magic words, man. Yeah, those are just 3D terms. I'm pretty much self-taught. Like I have all my knowledge really comes from watching videos on YouTube and just figuring stuff out on my own. So I never really had like a formal education in 3D. So I feel like if I can do that, anybody can too. Although I am taking a degree in my university that focuses on game art development. And I'm finally taking a class that's about 3D modeling and animation, although it's like an entry-level kind of class, like it's very basic modeling stuff. So even though it's really simple, at least it's related to my degree, I guess. I can finally talk to people about stuff that I have knowledge on and get feedback and hopefully learn. All right, let's get back to seeing the high poly. Come on, man. I want to drag out these edges. It's not letting me select it. Oh, there we go. Maya, Maya, Maya. Yeah, this is like the most annoying part about retopology. Just working with quad draw and it not listening to you because it doesn't like the shape underneath. But once you get over the hurdle, things get easier. Move this up. Sometimes I kind of like try to get out of quad draw as quickly as possible, so I just kind of make my model like super rough and then just kind of adjust it outside of the make live with quad draw. You can do that too if you feel like quad draw is too frustrating to work with. I've definitely done that a couple times. See, like this vertice just doesn't want to, or this polygon just doesn't want to exist. So I'm just gonna kind of roughly place it where I want it to be and worry about it later. All right, oops. So I have to think about how the hair kind of blends into the hat here. I want to have this edge. Let's see. It's a very smooth edge. Come on. Okay. And then it kind of just gets absorbed into the hat. So I want to see what this all looks like with her head in here. Okay, so I only have to worry about like getting up there and just kind of closing that off. See, it's not really listening to me right now. So I'm just at the stage where I'm like, man, I just want to get some polygons down and then I can fix it later. So whatever. Come on, man. Alright, here's another polygon. Okay, whatever. I'll just leave that there and let's see what else. I think this chunk of the hair, like the right side of her hair is good. I just have to worry about the other side. So what I'm going to do is just hide the high poly object and hide her head as well. I want to hide the back of her hair, so I don't want to look at that. Okay. Now I can go in here and start doing some repair work. Okay. And let's see what the hair does here. So I want to add another set of polygons. Do you play League often? I would say I do. I only really play on weekends because I'm usually very busy throughout the week. But I do play a lot with my friends over the weekend. I'll figure out how to bridge that later. Okay. Because this is like a pretty small hair strand, I do kind of want to make sure it's very nice in terms of silhouette. So I'm just going to close this off with kind of a flat edge, and then I'll add the edge loop. Although I'm kind of thinking about it might be fine with a flat edge, but I do want to see what it looks like. So let's see what that looks like, and if we need to make it smoother. I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I need that edge loop. I think in terms of silhouette, like that's perfectly fine. Especially if I put in her head. That works. Okay. Looks Zoe enough for me. Let's see what's happening here. So I might just kind of add some divisions there, some cuts. Let's close this off. Always make sure to save. Okay. And I'm just gonna bridge that. Might add extra vertice there. And merge. Oops. Maya doesn't like to bridge tries. Oops. Okay, oops. Actually, let's add a vertice somewhere here. And cut this out. Merge. kind of merge that like that. And close up this hole. Okay. Merge those vertices. Close up that hole. Merge that up. And close that. This kind of drags down a little bit too much, so maybe I can just merge it up like that. So that looks good. And then just have a little bit of shape back here by adding that point here as well. I'm gonna merge that up, this to the side. Cool. Now that piece is merged to the main chunk. And we just do the same thing over here. I can also just select everything and just close it since there's really not that much to fill up. And looks like this area is kind of too rough, so I need to add an edge. And just close that. I might just merge it like that. Just kind of slide things around. Okay, looks good enough. And then this underside that we don't really see can just be flat. Do some repair work here. All right, and just start merging this to the main chunk. And I'm just going to select all that and just bridge. That's going to create an n-gon. An n-gon is a polygon with more than 4 points, I think. I think that's what the term n-gon means. So I have to make sure that I'm like not getting that and creating tris and quads. So that's what I have now. Should be a quad. Yep. Cool. And we're going to soften everything and just see how that's looking. Looks good for low poly. I'm just going to go in here and bridge all this. And it's going to be a bit rough in terms of silhouette, but that's okay. I can just adjust it by adding edge loops and stuff. I'm going to merge that there. I want an edge loop there. Okay. Merge this here. And just bridge that. So I think I wanted to do some extra polygons here. And merge that top part. Maybe create a point there. Okay. At this point, we're kind of just low poly modeling instead of just quad drawing. Which, depending on your situation, could be better. Okay, and I want to create a polygon here, but it's just not letting me. Oh, grab that edge. There we go. Okay. Maybe I'll do something over there. I want more polygons over here. Okay. Okie dokie. Come on. Come on. Okay. Yeah, I only struggle so much because this is like a really organic, curvy shape. It could also be that maybe the high poly underneath needs to be a bit higher poly. I'm not really sure. It might be too low poly for a quad draw, so it's like having a hard time. I'm not really sure. I need to play around with that. And just fixing up those vertices to be merged. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to wrap up this stream in a few minutes, about 5 minutes. So if you guys have any questions or comments you want to make sure you do that. I'm sorry I didn't get to the UV stage today. I didn't realize the hair was going to be this much of a struggle. It's mostly because of quad draw. But for next stream, which will be either tomorrow or Friday, I want to see if I can try and push it to Friday. Her retopology will be completely done, so we'll get started on the UVs for the next stream. So that way I'm not doing the same retopology process for like 3 streams in a row, or 4, I don't know. So yeah, let's just hide the high topology here and see where we're at. Okay. Yeah, so the hair is definitely, it exists. It exists as a low poly object now. I just have to kind of fill up those gaps in the back here, and then I can start creating the UVs for it. Overall, I think the topology is great for that hair because it, gives us the silhouette that we want. If we soften the whole character's edges, then we can see like in game, oh, when she's like, walking around, it won't look as rough because it's going to be, right now you're seeing like all the polygons being like shaded against each other. But once we get like flat texture colored on, like you won't really see like this weird stuff happening here. So we're just thinking about the silhouette, because that's really what matters for League. So you can see like, oh, she has like a petals here. This petal shape is really nice. There's like nice frills here. The hair strands are what they should be. So yeah, I think we're at a good spot for that. I might adjust some of these like weird kind of, see like this part here is a little bit of a sharp line, so I'll have to fix that and make it a bit more soft. But yeah, I think that will be it for today. If you see here for the hair, I kind of like chopped it off to like a block because it's hidden by the hat. But it doesn't look like there's any other questions or comments that people want to make for the stream. So I might just wrap it here. So happy Wednesday. Thank you guys for joining the stream. I apologize again for not being able to get to the UV stage. But for next stream, we will be going straight to the UV stage. I will finish up her topology off stream. But yeah, we made good progress with at least the hair bangs, kind of getting those sorted out. And yeah, I'll see you guys either tomorrow or Friday. We'll see what happens. I want to shoot for Friday just to kind of give myself a little break. But yeah, see you guys on Friday. Thank you for joining the stream. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you want to get notified for whenever I'm making videos or live. And yeah, thank you for joining. Bye.